This poor girl ran a small roadside food cart. Anyone who tasted the food she prepared would instantly fall in love with it. People traveled from far and wide just to eat her cooking. One day, a man stopped by her cart for a meal. However, the moment he took his first bite, he was completely astonished. Impressed by her talent, he handed her a card before leaving. Upon returning home, the girl looked up the address written on the card. She discovered it was the location of one of the world's most famous restaurants, a place frequented only by the wealthy because a renowned chef worked there. Learning this made the girl feel a bit intimidated. She didn't believe she was skilled enough, so she continued working at her cart just as before. But a few days later, the same man returned to pick her up. Hoping to escape poverty, she went along with him. She was taken to a vast, magnificent kitchen, and seeing it all fueled her excitement even more. Shortly after, all the chefs lined up. Then, the famous chef walked in. He announced that only 2 people would be tested that day: Lisa, the poor girl, and John, a graduate of a culinary school. The challenge was to make fried rice. John used expensive, fresh ingredients and cooked like a true professional. He started by sautéing shrimp in butter, then added peas and carrots. Meanwhile, Lisa took leftover rice from the fridge, cracked in 2 eggs, and, just as she did at her cart, stirred everything together over high heat. When both dishes were ready, John's fried rice looked visually stunning, whereas Lisa's appeared quite ordinary. The chef examined John's plate first. The very next moment, he told John, "You can go home." John was completely stunned to hear this, but the chef offered no explanation. Then he asked Lisa, "Why do you want to work here?" Lisa replied, "I want to do something different." Hearing her answer, the chef smiled slightly. He hired her, and her training began. The chef demonstrated just once how to slice the beef to a precise thickness of 2 mm. Lisa tried, but the chef discarded the very first slice. She became nervous. However, after repeated attempts, she finally managed to make the perfect cut. Next, she began cooking the beef in her own style, but the chef would throw away every dish she prepared. She kept failing, and her confidence was completely shattered. She began to cry and decided to return to her village. But then, she changed her mind. She went back to the kitchen and practiced non-stop throughout the night. The next morning, everyone could see how exhausted she was, yet a fierce determination to succeed was clearly visible in her eyes. She started cooking the beef again and worked tirelessly without a break. Her hands were burning, yet she refused to give up. When the chef took a bite, he paused right there. The beef was so tender that it melted in his mouth. Paul didn't say a word, but his facial expressions spoke volumes.